So Nick and I were thinking we would discuss what sect or race of people we think would maybe have the stinkiest shit.
Right.
And this is in no way meant to be offensive to anybody.
No,
I'm going
absolutely not.
purely based off of like diet and lifestyle is where I'm gathering my information to determine who I think has the stinkiest shit. It's nothing personal,
No,
but
no,
You
never.
know, I think there are some factors that would determine who might have the stinkiest shit, and this is purely just opinion based.
Sure. Absolutely. I have to reiterate that. This is a no correlation to any sort of hate for any other race of people. We love everybody.
My shit smells really bad, so like if
Hey,
I don't want anyone to think that I'm picking on anybody. My
shit
shit
smells
stinks
awful.
so bad, so like please
Yes.
don't take any offense to this. We all have
Dude,
stinky shit.
dude, and I'm a diabetic, so there's no sugar in my shit. So there's no way to sweeten it up. So I got the worst shit. There is no there's no sort of rotting chocolate or cake batter in there to really give it that spice. So mine is just all water and
Hmm.
fucking goddamn just insulin and just longevity. My shit is dark sometimes. So
Nice. Mine
so
too. If I drink
that's
too much.
yes, right. So we got some stinky shits, but who else has the stinkiest shit, do you think?
Well, you want me to lead off?
Yes, lead off, please.
I had a few ideas. I'll start off with the Vietnamese. Um,
Oh,
I feel like all the food, like Vietnamese food, is typically really spicy. I feel like
sure.
that would lead to some nasty shits.
A lot of starch.
A lot of starches, a lot of spice, a lot of they use a lot of like fish oil, fish paste, fish sauce in their recipes. I think that might end up being kind of stinky. Whole lot of garlic, a lot of onions in their recipes. Right. I think they just eat enough stinky foods to where it probably translates out of their assholes as well.
Sure. And I feel like Vietnam is a very stressful place, so stress isn't that good on the gut of Asia itself. Who has the stinkiest shit? Indians? Because there's a lot of saffron, a lot of spice there too.
Right. I feel like most of my picks are from that region of the world.
Oh
Indians
no.
are definitely up there. A lot of them fucking shit in the streets. So I guess you could just
Ugh.
go there and determine if it's the stinkiest shit or not just by walking around.
I mean, if you got time, there's so much going on over there. Fucking traffic is like death.
Like yeah,
Fucking tuk-tuks running around, running off of fucking vegetable oil and shit. Like, I don't know, man. I'm kind of
just horns constantly and dirt flying everywhere and fucking poop on the road. India sounds pretty sweet.
sounds pretty cool to go and see go up in the mountains and kind of look out and see the smog.
I mean, they eat some stinky ass food though. Yeah, it's all heavily spiced. It's vegetarian based. They eat a lot of beans and
A lot of
lentils and
fiber.
stuff like that, right? Um, and I feel like the texture of most of their foods is pretty runny. I think the consistency thing, just for whatever reason, leads me to believe the shit would come out the same way, and that seems to have a stink to it when your
Yeah,
shit comes out in a splatter as
yeah.
opposed to a nicely formed turd. So,
Cause it's everywhere. Like when
right,
you're
I
smelling
think
in a
that
toilet bowl, it's like up and like you can.
it's like having like a fucking Dolby surround sound for your shit smells when you spray it.
Yeah.
It kind of comes out in a big cloud, isn't
Oh, it's
instead of like
awful.
a few stink lines. So
Yeah.
I think that adds to it.
Mexico. I feel like that would
Mm,
be pretty stinky.
fair point, man. They eat a lot of greasy meats, a lot of beans, shit that just makes you poop. A lot of sugars,
When you're putting sugar and beans, it's gonna come out pretty fucked up.
like Mentos and Coke, man. It's just gonna
Dude,
fly out of their bodies, dude.
just gonna be a fucking river of it.
They're poor
And
Mexican
that's
assholes wanting to see what's coming till it's too late.
yeah. And plus you're mixing corn tortillas and that's adding another layer of fiber. I don't know. I don't know about Mexico though. Cuz that could just be just healthy fiber.
It's true. I mean, they do eat a lot of protein over
Yeah.
there. And that could be a healthy diet. They probably eat a lot of vegetables too. They eat kind of questionable protein. That's what makes me think their shit may stink. But I mean, if it's prepared correctly, who's to say it's any stinkier than anything else? I had a
Uh,
couple other ideas, kind of some kind of outliers. I was thinking maybe the Irish,
yeah.
because
Mm,
I feel like Irish food is kind of gross and stinky as it is, and they drink a lot of beer and just alcohol in general. Speaking from past experiences, drinking a lot of beer gives me gross shits. I think if they're pounding Guinnesses all day, eating mashed potato garbage, then they're just going to be shitting out mashed potato beer garbage out of their assholes all day, and
yeah,
it probably
that's
stinks real bad.
yeah. And I don't know about the British, but I know that their diets aren't the best.
I'm sure it's pretty similar.
You know.
More mushy peas, less alcohol. I mean, I'm sure the British probably have stinky shits too, man. They eat a
A-
lot of curry over there too.
Yeah, like a lot of boiled stuff too.
Mm,
You know,
it's preferred way of cooking.
of course, boil your steaks. Yeah, no thanks. Like maybe Indonesians could have the stinkiest shit because like
They could.
they just eat whatever's going on there.
That's
Um,
true.
what about the Russians? What do we say for the Russians?
Mm, I feel like the vodka consumption would probably stink. They eat a lot of root vegetables. I don't know if that would necessarily stink so bad.
A lot of like beets too.
Beets and potatoes is probably all they fucking eat, man.
Yeah,
Um,
like a lot of homegrown stuff, I'm sure, which isn't really that bad. Some of it's gross.
I'm sure there's a lot of vodka, and
Yeah.
I feel like that doesn't wreck your gut as bad as like some other alcohols and beers. So I'm sure they got stinky shit, but it's probably not the stinkiest. And it's cold up there, so as soon as you take a shit, the cold weather will kind of sink the stink down to the bottom of the floor. No one will really notice it.
Yeah.
So
Good
it's fucking
point.
it's chill down there.
Very good point. Yeah, I didn't think about that initially. Man.
I'm pretty sure stink lowers in the cold. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Yeah, sounds about right. It's tough, really. What about the Italians? I feel like the Italians got some massive shits, like big shit.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
know?
they gotta be releasing some big turds. It's all indulgent food.
Yeah.
A lot of dairy, a lot of meat, a lot of carbs. It's just got to be big old fucking garlic breads coming out of them.
Yeah, just big baguettes, and you just gotta flush it, and oh, you gotta break it with a stick.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's a good point. I think the Italians would be the troublemakers in the bathroom. I'm not quite sold that they'd be the stinkiest ones, but they would definitely plug the toilet the most.
yeah, yeah, and this is all hearsay. Like we don't know.
This
We
is
don't
all
know.
real.
This is real stuff, but like we don't know. And so like, if there's our one Italian guy that can tell us how big of a shit he takes every day, then maybe we can. All right, well, but we don't
Yeah, we
know.
don't we don't know. I mean, I'd appreciate to get confirmation either way.
Like, who
Um,
has the smelliest shit of all time?
Yeah, if somebody's like, "Oh, dude, my shit smells like cancer," then like I want to know about it. Where you come from?
Yes, I want to know what your diet is. I want to know how close to a nuclear power plant you are. Something. Something to dignify the stink.
Right, absolutely.
Because this has been bugging us, believe it or not.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll ever know, to be honest.
Yeah.
There'd have to be like a janitor at a very very busy like airport or something, that like an international airport, that just he gets a whiff of a little something every day. Like they would be the ones that tell you. They'd be the
Oh,
soothsayers in the matter.
yes.
What do you think? I was also like another outlier. I was thinking maybe Korean shit would smell really bad.
Sure.
They
Yeah,
eat a
I
lot
can
of
believe
like
that.
Americanized food. They eat a ton of cheese, shit like that. They're eating cheese. They're eating kimchi. They're eating fucking stinky fish shit.
Oh,
Like you mix that all up together, man. Like that's just a disaster waiting to happen.
oh, it's just a powder keg until it explodes. Oh, the Brown River.
They're eating spicy. They eat spicy food too, like spicy fried chicken and shit. They're
And
eating
that'll hurt.
spicy. like spice, cheese, fish shit, and kimchi will make you fart forever. Like the
Ugh.
combination. I think the Koreans could have some stinky farts and poops coming our way.
But like the stinkiest.
Mm. It's hard to say. I don't know if I could pinpoint anybody.
Like, well, so how does all of this compare to American shit? Like,
I'm sure American shit. Like, well, that also depends. Like, what part of America we're talking about here. You know,
man, I'm gonna say the South has some
Mm.
stinky shit.
Oh, probably, dude.
That is mad poop right there.
They're just eating like fucking biscuits and gravy and crawfish all day, and
All day
a
with like
stinky old
cheap
oyster
beer.
po' boy. Yeah, you had to do like 32 bush lights, and they just shit it all out at once.
Dude, like, and like Bud Light Black. Oh, oh my goodness. Forget about it. But the Providence above that. What about the East Coast? They got that whole. They got fucking, the IPAs in there. That runs through me.
Oh,
Uh,
me too, man. If I have IPA, stay
uh,
away from me, man. I'll
yeah,
stink the room up.
yeah.
I'll fart, and then like I'll come back in the room an hour later, and I'm like, it'll still smell like a damn fart. That shit is so
It's so
pun-
damp.
pungent, just horrible.
Oh God. But like a whole like group of people. My God. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
so who
So
would have the stinkiest shits in America? Um, it'd be somewhere in the South. I'm just trying to like pinpoint what part of the South.
if I were to go with the West Coast, you got California there, you got Nevada, you got a lot of vegans on the
Mm,
West Coast. You know what I mean? So, uh, a lot of fiber, a lot of
mm.
a lot of nothing there. And some of them are bad drinkers. Shit, I know a couple, but it's like that mixed in with the fiber would also kind of be like kind of Ireland in a way with the shit factor. Um,
Mm.
Canadians, do you think Canadians shit smells worse than in America?
I would doubt it only because like I know like their soft drinks are healthier, their fast food, they take steps to make all their garbage food a little healthier than ours. So
Sure,
I feel it just by cutting those corners and making it the shit tastes as delicious. They're gonna be a little healthier. Their shits and farts are gonna smell a little better than ours. It could be the same shit, just slightly healthier, and I think that'll give them the edge on the stink factor.
sure. So Canadians and Australians, they have the least stinkiest shit.
I'd see them being pretty close. I feel like they're both like, kind of Americanized food. I don't know. I mean, at least for Canada, I've been to Canada. They do make shit healthier. I'd imagine Australia is probably the same way. A lot of their shitty food's a little healthier than ours.
Right.
So I'd imagine they'd be at least less stinky than the USA.
Yeah, absolutely. But the worst shits in America, huh? What about the Midwest? You got you got
Fucking Wisconsin, dude. They eat nothing but dairy there.
yes.
Dairy, big old cheese shits all day.
My God,
Ooh,
stop, dude.
ooh,
Ugh,
it's
get
rough.
rid of it. And that's hard coming out too. Literally like a lead coil out my asshole if I eat too much cheese. Just a
See that?
pipe.
That's a measure of how healthy you are in Wisconsin. I'm pretty sure is like how
Ugh.
sturdy your turds are.
If you need to break them up with a stick or not.
That's how you attract a fucking mate.
Yeah,
You
dude.
just go outside, take
You're
a
like,
big solid shit. Like,
you're like,
oh, that's a
honey,
solid one there. That's a solid tube.
honey, come in here and look at this. You like it? Tell me if you like this. You know?
Is this love?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it could be better, but you know what?
babies.
Thick shit.
That's a good shit, baby.
That's a real good. That's a
Oh
good cook.
yeah, that's a nice cheese shit there,
Yeah,
Gary. That's very
yeah.
good.
You know, I'm gonna fuck you. Who has the stinkiest shits in the world, Mike? Who do you give it to? But like it's hard to defend your shit too. You
Right.
know,
It could, maybe I'm being biased, but it could very well be the American diet. We eat a lot of garbage. Like we eat a lot of fast
awful.
food, just shitty, greasy, sugary, salty foods that
Sure,
just
all the
destroy us.
dairy we consume
Right.
just runs out of it and just a filth.
I mean, I very well may have the stinkiest shit myself.
Yeah, it's me and you that have the stinkiest shits.
Yeah. Oh, they're stinky.
Man, who do you give it to?
I think I'm going to give the edge to the Koreans. And that's
Mm,
that's only because they eat a mixture of the stinky, gross Asian foods that are just notorious for being really stinky. Then
oh,
they add like compared to other Asian countries, they eat a lot more dairy than others. And the dairy mixed with the stink, I think they just gotta have disastrous shits. I think they
sure,
just wreck the toilets. And they eat kimchi with everything. Kimchi will make you fart. Any like fermented foods are stinky. They're
absolutely,
just it's just yeah they're eating nothing good for your gut. They're just going to be shitting and stinking everywhere, and
sure.
the Koreans have the stinky poop. I'm gonna go with
Stinky
that.
poop. Yeah, Koreans. Yeah,
Stinky poop
I'm
award.
I'm going. Man, yeah, it's tough to go against Korea. You provide a lot of good points there. Um,
It ultimately comes down to diet, I think, for the most part. Like
yeah,
if you eat the stinkiest stuff, it's gonna stink the most.
yeah, good point. I'm gonna go with the Irish. I'm gonna go with the Irish. There's a lot of beer involved, a
Solid
lot of that.
choice.
Yeah, it's all that ground up meat, like not even just
Right.
haggis, but just ground up meat. Like, dude,
It's
like
all like shepherd's pie and potatoes and hamburger and shit.
potatoes and starch and man, like
Starch and meat and beer. That's about it,
yeah,
man. Like
ugh,
throwing a pea every here and there and
dude, nah,
gravy and shit. Yeah, dude, that's a
no,
recipe for fart and poop fest.
yeah, that's just a riot in the bathroom, dude. So
Having
my
42 Guinness and taking a dump. Oof.
oof, oh god, and that Guinness does not smell good just as a beer.
Probably comes out the same way,
It's
dude. Like foams in the
dark,
toilet. You gotta wait for it to settle before you can flush it.
of course. It's all dark, so I feel like dark shit smell the worst to me.
Yeah, they don't smell good. That's for
No,
sure.
and my diabetic shits, they smell like fucking clinic. Like what the fuck? Like it smells like plastic, like burning plastic sometimes. Ugh.
Yeah, see, we did we went with ethnicities. We didn't go with ailments because I feel like somebody with cancer might have the stinkiest shit. Like if somebody's got like butt cancer, they probably have the stinkiest shit
Oh,
over everybody.
right. Somebody with bad Crohn's. Ugh.
Nasty AIDS shit might be the nastiest thing you've
It,
ever smelled.
sure.
Does
What is your explanation on AIDS shits?
I don't know, man. Like once your body starts failing, I feel like it can only like digest it so much, so it'd probably come out still food like. You'd probably like shit out something that smelled edible, but with a tinge of shit involved, and I think somehow that would be worse. You know,
Yeah.
to be like that.
Uh,
That smells like a Pop Tart covered in shit, and I could almost eat it, but I can't because it's covered in shit, and that's so much
uh,
worse.
yeah, with that fruitiness to it. Ah, no.
That fresh baked pastry smell that just filled with turds.
Awesome. Yes. Well, from my experience as a diabetic, my shits are pretty terrible. My sugar intake kind of varies from day to day, and that plus insulin, like that's going in there for sure. Uh, sugar just pops up everywhere.
You're just
Uh,
injecting yourself full of shit juice. What you're doing, dude.
I mean, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Really all
So,
depends. Depends on the
does,
day that I'm having.
does insulin smell like you ever sniff it?
Yes, it doesn't. It's a little bit tart. Insulin smells very
I'm
tart.
sure. Yeah, like a
You know,
chemical or something.
yes, definitely like a chemical smell, but like as strong as bleach is, no. It smells like You know when you first go into a hospital, like not into the ER or anything, but like you go into the hospital, that hospital smell, that smell of just clinic smell, if you know,
It's
sanitized
right.
smell.
It's almost like a mixture of smell of sick mixed with very clean,
Yes, yes, it definitely smells like that, but like a lot
controlled
cleaner.
sick.
Controlled
Okay.
sick. Insulin smells like controlled sick.
So if you take a fucking insulin dump, then it just smells like a waiting room. That's not so bad.
You know, very stale. Let's go stale. Stale plastic smell.
It's a
But
burning
like,
plastic smell.
but it's a very unique. It's a very unique shit smell. Like, it's so like, well, it like catches you off guard. It's not like, oh, that smells like shit like that. Oh, that smells like a disease.
Ooh, that's that's
That's
that's actually interesting. So maybe you have the sneakiest shit,
I
Nick.
might have the stinkiest shit like on the planet because it's so off-putting. You
Well,
know.
who has to say this? Like stinkiest can mean anything. It can mean it could like just
Mm,
have the most pungent good smell or
mm,
weird smell. Like as long as it's the most, I don't know, like obvious to the nose, like the strongest scent.
the strongest
So
scent. Yeah,
so like
that's
if you shit out like a cologne turd, that would technically be the stinkiest shit.
right. Right. Oh, good
Yeah.
call.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm gonna like, yeah, like, but I'm still gonna go with Ireland. I'm still gonna go with the Irish with this.
Yeah.
Uh,
I can't argue with that. That's a
yeah,
good choice.
but I feel like Korea's got the same thing. Like the spice alone
Mm.
is what'll really push the boundaries with that one.
Yeah, they're different kinds of factors that make both people shit. Irish obviously don't eat spicy food, but they do drink a lot more beer.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Koreans, yeah, they definitely do the spice, the dairy. They do all the bad shit for your gut. Anything that'll make you
sure.
poop. So they're both stinky bastards as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's we're not really agreeing on anything, but yes.
Yeah, they're
We
not
got our
stinky
reasons.
bastards, but their poop probably smells horrible. So
Horrid.
if you're Irish and
Terrible.
Korean and you disagree, just let us know.
And like we said, we're not out to hurt anybody. Hope you got a laugh with it at least, you know, like, oh yeah, I've had some stinky shit in my day.
I hope you listened and took a shit and agreed with us more than
Yeah, I
anything.
hope you know you listen to this podcast on the toilet anyway. I mean, that's where we have our audience. If this did offend you, right? If this did offend you, I'm incredibly sorry. I'm incredibly sorry that that's how you feel. That's not what our goal was. Absolutely not. But these are the jokes. All right. You know, why are you defending your shit? Don't defend your shit because it all smells bad. Awful. Awful smelling stuff. Nobody wants to smell shit.
It's honestly a level playing field, man. I mean, my shit smells horrible. Like don't get me
Awful.
wrong here. Like I'm not sitting here like putting myself on a shit pedestal.
Yeah.
No way. Like I've been in
No
that
way.
bathroom. I know
No.
what's going on. Like completely objective. We're looking
Totally
at.
objective.
I'm looking at it purely from a diet point of view.
Absolutely.
Just things I think make people poop,
Yeah,
and
man.
just, some people eat more poopables than others. That's
Yeah.
it.
And it's
That's
like
it.
who consumes the most poopables? We think we think the worst smelling poopables come from Ireland and Korea. That's all right. You know?
It's possible. It's
Yes.
possible. I mean, we're not
Possible.
experts.
No.
Call scientists. They might know what's going on.
Yeah.
They'll
Just
tell you.
yeah. It's all up in the air. The shit is in the air. We don't want shit hitting the fan here at the podcast. Okay.